So one last thing that I'm constantly trying to frame is that most of those building social and emotional maturity among youth, right? Most of those exercises are to help them to control their emotions so that they don't go on tangents and stay on the right path. So following this model, I hope that we as parents, we understand the context, we understand the needs on all sides and the related emotions. But again, speaking of the benefits, right, that if you truly try to follow this model, then how that would help you, what are the critical elements, right, like the critical elements and the benefits. Like you have to have tawakkul, right? You have to put that trust in Allah. Or does it come with your staying in the spiritual aspect of yourself a lot?
Generally speaking, and we said that all these good meanings, beautiful meanings, are natural to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're in our fitrah. So it's pretty much, let me give the analogy which is given in the Quran of a seed. We have the seed inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
If you rip a seed open and try to pull the elements out of it, you've ruined it, you've killed it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get anything.
Exactly.
But all you need to do, you can't grow a seed, but what you can do is let it grow and support it to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So you place the seed in the soil, you water it, you provide it with fertilizers or nutrition, or you just leave it because it's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And you wait for it and you let it grow. You observe it growing. If something external obstructs that kind of growth, then you might intervene minimally to unblock any obstruction or something like that. And that's exactly how we should treat children. Is that the seed is there, what we have to do is put them in a good environment that activates the element of that seed, of that fitrah, of that spiritual nature, spiritual instinct, and scaffold it, protect it from external dangers. Provide it with good example, an environment, with love, and the soul is going to grow. The beauty in the soul is going to grow when it sees outside the generosity. It's not like going to pick it up from outside, but the view of generosity is going to activate the seed of generosity inside of us in our spiritual nature, and it's just going to start blossoming and unfolding. So slowly, if we do this with tawakkul, again, the child sees the level of trust in Allah from the parents. It inspires. When you see, by the way, like generally speaking, in modern words, what tawakkul really looks like, by people who believe in God and people who don't believe in God, but they believe in something, by the way, is what we call courage. Courage is a form of tawakkul. It's one of the most obvious forms of tawakkul. And everyone who sees a moment of courage gets inspired. And the reason for this inspiration is that something awakened, what they saw awakened something in their fitrah. It resonated. So it started growing. It was sort of activated. It was primed. And when it's primed, they get hooked. They admire this person. And if there is more consistent display of courage, a person would develop that courage within themselves. It's not like they learned courage. It's within them. But because the environment was supportive, it grew. And it unfolded into a full plant.
Exactly.
Same thing with tawakkul. When I teach them tawakkul, they see tawakkul outside, it resonates with them, it inspires them. It primes the natural tawakkul inside of them, and it starts to grow. So you don't have to tell your child, hey, put your trust in Allah. That doesn't do anything. It just doesn't do anything. It's lip service. But what gets them to do this is that next time you're hit by a calamity as a father or as a mother, they see that you put your trust in Allah. You're not scared. They see the courage.
You display that. Yeah,
exactly.
Become the role model.
That's it. They get inspired. When people get inspired, by the way, comes from Latin, inspirita, which means in spirit. In spirit, in the soul. You're more based in your soul, in your spiritual side. So it means something awakened. You're feeling your soul. Something awakened your soul. Something awakened this fitrah, this spiritual instinct. So that's actually the roadmap for for parents and for teachers to educate. If you look at the life of the, whatever we have of the life of the Prophet ﷺ about raising kids, you won't find much. If you look for details, you're not going to find much. You'll find a few instances, yes, but you put them together. You can't build a way of rearing children merely by these examples.
Exactly.
There'll be a lot of gaps. But raising kids in the life of the Prophet and the companions is embedded in every aspect of their life. It's not necessarily pointed to, hey, this is how you raise a kid. But everything about the Prophet, everything about the companions, about their life, about how they handle different conditions and how they handle different people, that caused the natural state of humans, that seed, just grow. It provided a healthy environment, supportive environment. So the seeds grew. As simple as that. That's really what parenting boils down to. Or we think we have robots that we have to program.
Exactly.
And that's where we go wrong, because a robot is empty, and you're gonna fill that drive with information. Fine, it's gonna be receptive. But the human nature is not empty. So when you teach something, or you teach something in a way that goes against the norms of the ruh or the self, they're gonna fight back.
Exactly.
So what you need to do is actually run along the lines of the ruh and the self, manage them well. That's what you need to do. So it's more of I'll take a digression here. It's more like a dance. You dance with this human nature. As a parent, that's how you have to deal with it.